Hi, Justin. Mm,
Hi.
Well, welcome to Wellington Toastmasters. The structure for today, it's going to be a 15-minute meeting, so it shouldn't be too much of your time. And I kind of just want to get you acclimated, get you set up. Going forward, I'll be your mentor to kind of bring you aboard. And how are you feeling so far?
Feeling good, excited about this. Always wanted to try to get better at public speaking, so certainly looking forward to this journey.
Okay. Well, I have some questions for you. Kind of want to dive in and get to know you a little bit. Okay. So, what would you say some of your particular strengths or weaknesses are, or strengths and weaknesses?
Jeez, interview questions already. Uh, I would say weaknesses in terms of public speaking, just not being comfortable in front of a group of people, and just being very nervous. Really, just not knowing sometimes how to present um, my topic and um, just in general being nervous in front of people speaking. Um, Strengths from public speaking, probably none. That's why I'm joining Toastmasters.
Okay. Well, a good thing to, I mean, it's a good thing that, well, comforting for you that a lot of people have a fear of public speaking. So you're not alone in that. And they feel like they don't know what to say, or they knew what they said, what they wanted to say until they got in front of a group of people. So I just want to comfort you in that. And so, what are your commitments like outside of Toastmasters or in this time period of your life?
I would say, there's a couple other organizations that I'm involved in at this point, but not really heavily. So, I have some more time to devote to the organization, and this is a big goal for me. So, I'd say I'm pretty committed to making the meetings and doing the best I can to advance myself personally. And I don't really think that other organizations or work should not allow me to do so.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, that's good to hear. Secondly, so the idea behind that question is to just get a sense of how much, like expectations, like how much you want me to keep you accountable, how much you can be engaged and not like be able to miss out on like because we have committees and then we have the roles that you sign up for, and overall we're looking to for our members to be able to do 1 to 2 speeches per month.
Okay.
Yeah, so we kind of want you to kind of move through your path, and so this that question kind of gives me a gauge of like where you're at and what your life looks like right now. um,
Okay.
Also, secondly, we want your life to align with your Toastmasters journey. So, like, are there any personal goals right now that you think you can develop skills through our Toastmasters club outside of public speaking, like as far as leadership or like any areas you want to lean into in that way?
Um, I think organization. I think just a better structure and organization. Um, I think just in terms of getting better at being more confident, I guess, in front of people and speaking in front of people, I think is another good thing. So confidence and organization, I think, are two skills, like general skills that I'm hoping that Toastmasters can assist with as well.
Okay, awesome. Well, again, Toastmasters is where leaders are made, and strong leaders do have a great sense of organization. And I think confidence is something you develop over time, with those small wins. So you're in the right place.
Great.
Okay. Also, so you haven't signed up for a role yet, but a part of our meetings, we're going to like kind of, I'll give you feedback of how that role went, what you like, and you'll also give me feedback, like what went well, what you wanted to work on. Um, so I don't know if you have you taken a look at the agenda yet?
I've not.
Okay, so we can look at one together.
Okay.
I do have it up for our next meeting. So for your first role, there's a couple things that you could sign up for. There is grammarian, invocation, and I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen with you.
Okay, great.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and enlarge this. So there's a couple roles you can sign up for that I would suggest as a good first start for you, such as grammarian, we have invocation, um, and then
What does that
also
mean, invocation?
counter. So for the invocation, what that looks like is you can give an inspirational thought or quote that is related to the theme of the meeting. So the
Okay.
theme is optimism and positivity. So our invocation is usually about a minute, and that's what the time frame you see here. So it's about a minute where you share an inspirational thought or quote that uh, again supports the theme.
Okay.
So that way it's a small, opportunity to speak. And then we have our counter. So one of the great things is that we get to identify clutch words for us, whether it's so, and, or double starts. And you get to be super present and kind of keep a tally for the club as to what filler words we're using as a club, but also as individuals. So there are scripts attached to each one of these roles. And the last role that I would recommend as a first start would be maybe grammarian.
Hmm.
So you get to pick a word of
Didn't
the
mention that grammar is not a strong point of mine either.
okay.
Will this help me with my grammar?
Yes, it definitely will.
Okay.
'Cause what you'll get to notice is people who do it really well and things that sound odd or off. Also, you get to identify sounds like words or phrases of eloquence or that are catchy, and maybe over time you'll absorb these words or absorb these ways of speaking. Some people speak more poetically, more formally, and you'll get exposure over time. So just to give you an idea of like three of the choices that I would start you off at. Now, so it's Wednesday. Is usually Wednesday around this time a good time frame for us, for you in your schedule?
Okay. Yeah, Wednesday is fine. Yeah, Wednesday works well.
Okay, because another thing is I just kind of want to set a continuous time frame that we would be checking in week by week. And again, it's 15 minutes, so I don't want to take too much of your time, but I just want to make sure you're supported in the ways that you need.
So it's like a weekly call, I guess? Or,
Yeah, so it would be a weekly call, just about 15 minutes. And what would also support me is if you were in front of a computer every time that we met. So that way we can go ahead and sign you up for your next roles.
okay. What else would we be doing during these calls? Is there like an agenda to these calls, or what kind of things would we be covering?
Yeah, so similar to this meeting, we would identify a role, go over the responsibilities of that role,
Okay.
and make sure that you were clear so that you were prepared in preparation for that meeting. We also want you, like on a monthly basis, to kind of look at your commitment for Toastmasters in a month kind of sense. So in our meetings, you could say, I'm actually thinking about giving my first speech. And maybe that meeting would be more dedicated to that role, the speech, how you'd structure it, what the content would be, and also we would talk more about pathways. Okay. Um, and as I said, so we want you to kind of commit. So look at like what rules you would fill out for the week. So you might, I mean, for the month. So
Okay.
you might maybe 2 weeks do a grammarian role and then sign up for a speech. And then the following week, you'd have another role.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just to
Good.
give you a sense in that way.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said, all the time, I'm open to feedback for you to let me know like what things you observed that could have gone better. like in the club, or something personal about your particular role. Like if your script didn't make sense to you, like the wording, you felt like it could have been clearer, and that is actually supportive also for just the club overall.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Um, so also in closing, I want to know, was this meeting supportive for you? Do you feel like it was clear?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is a good start for me. I think the weekly calls would be good to keep me kind of accountable and make sure that we stay along the lines of what I want to do and what I want to achieve. So I think the weekly calls will be helpful as well. And yeah, certainly this was helpful to get me kicked off.
Okay, good. And also, I want to emphasize punctuality. So we have our meetings, they start exactly at 6:55. And that was to emphasize
Five. Okay.
6:55, yes. Sometimes our meetings can run a little bit over, but we like for all of, the members to be there on time.
Got it.
Okay.
Check
Especially
the
if you
bus.
have a role too, because you want to be ready.
Right. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again for your time. Is there anything else that you wanted to share or let me know?
I think that's it for now. As we get rolling, I'm sure I'll have a lot more questions. But no, this was helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.